for those of you who don't know me, I am Andrea Eppolito, and I do own Andrea Eppolito Wedding and Events. And when Megan said, like, hey, can you come and speak? I was honored, but I was also a little bit jumbled, because really the truth is, what do I have to say to you or to teach you? And there's nothing, because everybody at the table is a master of their craft, and you're artists. And there's nothing I can teach you about hair. There's nothing I know about makeup. I mean, I wear Maybelline sometimes.
Me too,
I am like, some of us are sitting here in judgment because I buy hairspray at the grocery store.
I bring you a can
But
of
she
every
brings
time
me
I
good
see
hairspray.
you.
But I, like, what do I know about this? But what I do know, and what I did want to talk about, is the industry. Because that's why we're here, right? Because we love the industry, because this is our passion. And so the how is out there, that you've got a book on the how. Megan can teach you the how. You can take classes. What I love, and what I'm always kind of thinking about and going back to, is the why. Why are you here? Why are you doing hair? Why are you doing makeup? Why are you doing it in Vegas? Why are you doing weddings and not fashion and editorial and all of these other shoots? And the answer can't be like, I really like hair, or I really like makeup, or I love weddings, they're so cute. Like, that's, forgive me, or you could edit it out. That's a bullshit answer. It's the easy answer to the tough question. And I don't want to talk about my business, but I will share with you my why. And because there are some of the people at the table who have gotten to know me very well, and some of you who don't, my why is that my life hasn't been pretty, and it hasn't been beautiful, and there haven't been all of these like amazing, exceptional moments that were romantic. I have seen things that are hurtful, and I've lived through things that feel destructive, and that are where you're like out of control, and you're free falling, and you're looking for the ground, but you can't find it. And you sit there and you're grasping. For me, I was grasping, and I was looking for a thing, and I didn't have it. But you give me a couple. You give me an empty room, 24 hours to be the master of the universe. You give me a chance to create the world that I wish I had seen. Does that make sense? Like, where karmically I can put that out there, where I can take it and I can give what I didn't have to somebody else. I can know that when the clock strikes 12 and I look out on the room, the world is a pretty place, and the world is something beautiful. And but that's the thing. That's what I didn't have. And if I can give that to somebody else, if I can give it to a bride, to her mother, to her sister, to her child, if I can give a groom who never thought he had the opportunity to walk down the aisle, and give him a wedding day with his new husband, if I can leave the world a better way than I found it, I feel like I'm offsetting my own history. And I feel like when I go home, everything that I didn't have control over, I can leave it all on the floor for that one day. And so when I started my business, and when I'm sure that you guys were trying to figure out, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? There's a lot of stuff about the why, and the easy answers are easy. And if you live in easy, you stay kind of here. I don't like easy because I'm not used to it. I'm used to hard. And so when I found my why, I mean, let's be honest, it's a pretty tough thing to say, like, life can suck, and life's not perfect, and life is difficult. But when you accept it, and like for me, I had to get comfortable with my why. I had to accept all of the things that happened in the past, and cuddle up to it a little bit on the couch and make out with it and make it like my boyfriend. And once I did that, though, like once I got there and I did that, the rest of it was easy. And if you find that why, the rest of it will be easy for you, because all of a sudden you have purpose, and you have passion, and you have this thing where you get up every day, and the why is what drives you. The why is like what moves you to the next place, because all you want to do now is like, you've got this thing and you have to get rid of it. Like I wake up every day and I'm like, I gotta get this out because I have all of this why stuff, and the more I do my why, the better I feel. And so I'm always like, how do I do this? How do I do this? How do I do this? But even if you have the how, even if you have the why, even if you have your passion and your purpose, the world is not going to have the opportunity to get it from you if they can't get past the person. And for me, that became a lot of understanding that there was a perception issue that existed that I needed to take control over. And it was something that was very, very difficult for me to accept, because from an ego-driven place, none of us want to accept the fact that, like, we're being judged at all times. But we are. The world is a judgmental place, and we're all being judged not just on our resume and the things that we say, but it's the 101 things that we tell you without saying a word. And on the client side, because I am your client, I'm the person who is the gatekeeper to get you to the door to be in somebody else's face. And when I'm sitting there and somebody shows up and their car is dirty, I wonder if their makeup brushes are dirty. If I ask for a card and I get it and it's bent or smudged, I start looking at their brushes, like their hair combs and their picks, to see if they've been like super, super used. Because if you can't take care of your things, I can't trust you to take care of mine. If you show up and you're not put together in a way that conveys your purpose, that conveys your passion, that conveys your why. I had a situation recently, which Megan knows, I had to have 3 root canals, top 3 teeth. Hot and holy mess. All sorts of like painkillers and just swollen and disgusting. And what I should have done was send my mother to the store. But I didn't, because I'm a big girl and I've got this. And so I took my child and I went to Trader Joe's, and I was wearing like knockoff Uggs and sweats and like just nonsense. And I may or may not have had a bra on. And I'm walking, I'm pushing the cart, and there's this woman looking at me. And in my head, I'm like, seriously? I had 3 root canals. And after like 2 aisles, she comes over and she's like, excuse me, I'm so sorry. Are you Andrea Eppolito? And in my head, I'm like,
Nope.
I go, Mother of God. I go, yes. And in my head, I'm like running through. I'm like, I know you from my kids' school. Like, I know you from anywhere else. And I go, I am. And she goes, oh my God, I'm such a fan. Can I show you something? And she pulls up her phone and she has like pictures of my weddings pinned. And like, horrifying. Okay? Horrifying. Because she was probably my client. She probably was somebody who like loved it and then walked away and was like, yeah, she didn't have a bra on. I don't think she had a bra on. I think they were all down here. And they were. But the reality is, what she now believes is that everything, all of this, is a lie. Because I didn't think enough in that moment about my brand, my company, the fact that I make a living and can send my kids to school based on the idea of who I am. And I if that's me, so help me God, it's not me. Is it me?
It is not
Okay.
me.
Matt! Naughty Matt. But that's, I had to sit there and we walked away and my son goes, are you famous?
Oh, that's the cutest.
Kind of.
You little?
Yeah. But
Not like
but
this.
that's reality. That's a bride that's somebody who I went back and used to like love on my Instagram, who takes a little bit longer now. Because in her head, I'm no longer what she thinks or what she thought I am. Doesn't make me any less of a wedding planner. Doesn't make me any less good at my job. Doesn't mean that I don't love it as much as I did 30 seconds before she saw me pushing that card.
Hopefully she likes that you're a mother.
But what it
And a
means,
real person.
but you know what? But you can be,
it's
but this
true.
is the thing, you can be real. And I don't want anyone to change, like, look, I curse, I tell inappropriate jokes, I talk about sex and kids and I don't want to change that. But what I realized is that if I wanted to make the kind of money that I wanted to make, if I wanted to work with the kind of client that I wanted to work with, then I had to take who I was and I had to polish it. And I mean everything. My hair, my makeup, my nails, my jewelry, my clothes, my car, even the way that I speak. I'm from New York, all right? I'm from New York. But people convey, they hear that and their mind goes to, New Yorkers are rude. New Yorkers are short. New Yorkers are mean. And sometimes we are. But the reality is if you're from Ohio and you're having a $1.5 million wedding, I can be frightening over the phone. And so I had to change my voice and my tone. It was the difference between not a problem and my pleasure. Because one of them takes my client's request and makes it an issue, and another one gives me a chance to service them. And it's a small, small thing, but I don't say not a problem anymore because they're paying me, and so there is no such thing as a problem. There's only an opportunity for me to be worth every single dime that they've paid me. There's an opportunity for them to say to people, one of the best reviews that I ever got was, Andrea ended every phone call with, is there anything else I can do for you today? And I have done that for 5 years. And so I'm not suggesting that you go out and get a Mercedes. No, I don't have a Mercedes. I have a very nice Lexus. But I'm not saying that you have to go and get a fancy car. And I'm not telling you to go and get a Prada bag. That's status. That's money. Money's out there. We're all making money. We can all make money in a lot of ways. Luxury is not about money. Luxury is all about experience. It's all about service. It's about getting back to people quickly on email. It's about responding to their text messages and knowing whether or not you can use an emoji. It's about creating the kind of authentic relationship where if I call a bride and say, I just had a root canal, like, I'm sorry, I'm out for a week, where she understands me enough as a person because I gave her that faith. I laid the groundwork by presenting myself as who she needs me to be, because at the end of the day, your why matters to you. It doesn't matter to her. Her why matters to her. And they say that, you can do what you love and the money will follow. There's a reason that they call them starving artists. Be better than being a starving artist. You can be better than somebody who digs their heels in and says, I'm an artist. I don't have to do that. I'm not going to do it. You have to use both sides of your brain. You have to be an artist and an owner. You have to take the talent that you have and present it in a way that convinces people to buy it. And that's hard because I am asked all day, every day to do things that I don't want to do by people that I may not want to do them for, but those people pay me money, and that money supports my kids and my father and my mother and my husband, and it buys me the pretty shoes and it gets me to places like the Mandarin, and it moves you forward. And so I don't want anybody to change. I mean, I have worked with almost everybody at the table, and we have done some extraordinary things together. And my weddings are published at a 99% rate. The only weddings that I have that aren't published are weddings where I have to sign an NDA or the client asks me not to submit them. And pretty people get published. Pretty people get in magazines. Pretty people get on blogs. And my people are pretty because of you. Because I don't make them pretty. I look like this. You guys make them pretty, but how you polish yourself and how you present yourself, it's the difference between a makeup bag that squeaks, that has to be edited out of a video, and a beautiful, polished, fashion-forward girl who's in the background of a getting ready photo, and that ends up in the album. It's the difference between being showcased and being cropped out. It's, God, I hope she's really good at what she does. She must be an artist. Versus, she's a professional. And people don't pay for art. They pay for professionalism. And so be who you are, connect to your why, figure out how to take that and how to present it in a way that you can go to bed at night and be comfortable, because I sleep like a baby when my babies are sleeping. But I sleep like a baby when I get to sleep, because I feel like what I have done is exactly who I am, but I gave people who I am in a way that they can digest it. And so on behalf of everyone that I've ever worked with and all of my brides, if I say anything, you know, it's, you don't need my how. You probably didn't even need my why. You guys are all beyond masters of your craft. Be an artist, be an owner, be better than you were yesterday. Do something extraordinary. And I look forward to being back here, hopefully, and in a very short amount of time, to congratulate you on 2,500 reviews and 5,000 and 10,000 and so many more, because honestly, I can't think of a better team in Vegas. And so it has been my pleasure to be here for you, and thank you for being here for me and my bride.